What's up, gamers? Welcome to my review of Red Dead Redemption 2. The question we have here is it worth it? For the price and the time that I've taken to play this game, I would say that it is definitely worth the money. For, say, a $50, $60, $70 game, you usually have to judge it based on how much you enjoyed it and how much time you put into it. This is a game that I've enjoyed quite a bit, and I've put a lot of time into it. The thing that makes a game great, I think, is the storyline, and I think this storyline did a great job keeping you engaged, and you really came to know the character and really became a part of the character, actually. Um, as far as what I would say, this to me isn't what I was expecting. The game itself is great. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Most definitely a really, really good game to play. It says it was like 60 hours to do the main story, which, yes and no. I would say that the main story you can get done in probably 25 to 30 hours, and the rest of that 60 hours you're spent just riding a horse around, going from point to point, trying to get from objective to objective. And if you want to consider that part of the story mission, you're more than welcome. Me, I don't. The travel time in it is adding to the longevity of the game. That doesn't mean that it's bad. I just wouldn't consider it time added to what it takes to actually beat the main story. There is a lot of beauty just riding around on your horse, and there's a lot of engagements you get into. Sometimes bandits jump out at you, sometimes you get attacked by wild creatures. So there is actually a lot of stuff going on while you're riding at times. Other times, all it is riding. Over and over and over again. Just riding your horse. Fast travel doesn't really come into play till later in the game, and even then it's very limited on what you can do. The one thing that I really didn't like about the game was I was expecting showdown, high noon, quick draw, shoot the gun out of someone's hand, shoot their hat off, hit them right between the eyes. That is what I expected from a Red Dead game. And if you're looking for that kind of gameplay, you aren't going to find it here. That's the only real negative I do have for this game, though. I enjoyed traveling on the horse. I enjoyed getting into these encounters. I enjoyed trying to be an outlaw. But even trying to be an outlaw, the game kind of pushes you towards being the good guy. That doesn't, I don't know, it's fun. I don't mind being the good guy, but like I said, I wanted to be the outlaw. But it punishes you so much for being an outlaw that it's almost not worth it. There's basically two parts to this game. There's the main story, and then after the main story is done, you have a second part of the game, which they add this building mechanic, which seems to be like a pretty cool mechanic to the game, but you only get to mess with it for a short 15 to 20 minutes, really, and then it's done. So maybe it's something that is going to be added into the multiplayer aspect of the game, which I really hope. But as far as that in this game, if they could have came out with that in the beginning and allowed you to do it then, I think it would have added to the quality of the game. But, like I said, this is a is it worth it video. And I spent the $79.99 for not the highest level or the most expensive one, but the mid-level. And I would say from the time that I played to the enjoyability of the game, it definitely is worth the money. But with that being said, it is not your typical Red Dead game to me. Like I said, the typical Red Dead game would be going out, getting into a gunfight, drawing on someone, and getting your dead eye so that you can shoot the gun out of their hand, the hat off their head, and right between the eyes, all in one little motion. That's what I remember most from the original Red Dead game. This reminds me a lot of like Grand Theft Auto. And maybe that has to do with the open world, where Red Dead was more linear. This is more open world and allows you to do more things and kind of play the way that you want to play. They could have named it like Red Theft Carriage for all I care, because this is a kind of a crossover. It's not a typical Red Dead game. It's a Grand Theft Auto with Red Dead involved in it. So if you're looking for a game to maybe put in anywhere between 30 to even 120 hours, the multiplayer hasn't come out yet. It's supposed to come out sometime this month. This would be a game that you would get, and it would definitely be worth your money, because I judge everything on, if I go to a movie, I'm spending $10 for a 2-hour movie. And I've put probably 60 hours into this already. So yeah, I would say it was easily, as far as time goes, worth it. As far as gameplay goes, the gameplay is fun. There's a few bugs, but that's normal in any game nowadays. There's a couple that really need to get hatched out, but for the most part, it's playable and it's good to go, man. If this is something that you're looking to get someone for Christmas coming up, I would definitely suggest it, because hey, man, who doesn't like to play video games nowadays? So, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this little review, and if you did, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't like the review, then hit the thumbs down button. It's cool. So, you guys have a good one, and take it easy.